So welcome again guys. So today we will cover lists in Python. Lists in Python. So we will cover everything about lists from starting to, and I will name as heading. Okay, so lists in Python. So what are lists? List is a type of data structure. Okay, so I can say that list is a sequence of values. Okay, so what do you mean by sequence of values? And type is list. Okay, so what do you mean by sequence of values? For example, in string, in string we have the, for example, my string is hello, so my sequence of characters is H, then E, then L, and then again L, and then O. But what is happening in list? List also contains the sequence of values, but they can be of any types. So how can we? I can either have integer, I can either have string, I can also have float. For example, 747.0. So this is the use of list. We can contain any types of values in list, any type of data, any type of values in list. Let us start by taking an example. So how to declare a list? So we can declare using a variable as, for example, I am creating variable as, and list is declared using square brackets. So list is declared using square brackets. Okay, so we can declare list using square brackets. For example, I am creating a list as variable is equals to, for example, let us say 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and I can also use strings. For example, I am using hello users like subscribe, and now I am using float values, for example 4.2, 4.8, 7. I would do it as 4.8. Okay, so I have created a list. So let us save this in memory, and now I will use variable. Okay, so it is my list considering of all the values. For example, list also contains index. In list we also have indexing, like as we used to work with arrays. For example, let us see what is the value at index 0. So yeah, it will give me 2 as output. Okay, so it has given me 2 as output. For example, let us say the variable at it is at 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, seventh index. Okay, so what would happen? It will give me hello. For example, now I will show you list slicing. Okay, so let us work with list slicing. So how to slice a list? For example, I want to print the index from first to fourth index. Fourth index. So yeah, I am getting 3 4 5 6. So first index is first, second, third, fourth. Okay, so it is the use of list slicing. For example, I want to print all the index. So yeah, I can use this. For example, I want to print from starting index to ending as fifth index, till fifth index. So I am getting this sixth. Okay, it is like fifth index, 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, I am getting till 7. So this is the use of list slicing. We can also use list inside list. It is called as nested list. For example, list inside list. Okay, so it is known as nested list. List in list, which is known as nested list. Okay, so let us see. For example, I am creating variable 2 as a list, and I am giving 2 3 4 something like this, and then again creating list inside list and naming as 8907, 890. Okay, so I have created a list inside list. Let us see what would happen if I search for index, for example 0 1 2 3 and 4th index. For example, I am searching variable 4th. So what would happen? It is giving me 6. Why it is giving me 6? Oh, sorry, I have to name is as where 2. So yeah, it is giving me 8, 9 and 0. This whole list will be considered as the 4th index. Okay, this whole list will be considered as the 4th index. Let us see with the list inside list. I have used nested list. So how to print 234? I will run this again because I have changed the list, and I will run this again, and I will run as where 2 and we use index 6th index. So yeah, it is giving me 23. This is the use of list. Okay, so for example, I will create a list 1 as list 1 is equals to hello, please subscribe. Okay, and list 2 as 30, 40, 50 and 60. So yeah, how can I print this two lists? For example, I can use print list 1 comma list 2. So I will get all these two lists. Can I create an empty list? Yeah, I can also create an empty list. I can use this as empty, and I can also create also print the empty list. Yeah, so I am getting all the lists. So yeah, we can also create empty list. We can create an empty list. Okay, so now let us move forward. Okay, so lists are mutable. Important concept here, that lists are mutable. I will type as lists are mutable. Okay, so what do I mean by lists are mutable? I can change the values as for example, I will use my first list only. Okay, so yeah, it is my first list. I am copying this again and pasting it here. Okay, so how can I change the value at fifth? For example, I want to change the value of 5. So first let us consider its index of 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is a third index. For example, I want to change the value at third index to, for example, 4, 2, 4, 6, 7, something like this. So yeah, I have changed this value, and then I will again print this. So yeah, I am getting the value as at third index. I am getting this value like this. For example, I will use print where. So yeah, I am getting the value at third index like this. For example, my 5 value is changed. Okay, so we can change the values at any index. For example, I want to change the value at 10th index to 38782. So yeah, when I will print the where again, it will the value at 10th index will be changed to 3782. So this this shows the lists are mutable. We can change the values at any index. Okay, now for example, if I want to check if an element is present in a list or not. Okay, so for example, if I want to check if an element is present in the list or not, so how can I check it? So for example, I want to check if 2 is in the list or not, so I will use 2 in variable. It will give me true. Yeah, that means 2 is in the list. For example, I want to check hello in where. Yeah, it will give me true. For example, I will use double quotes. What would happen? Okay, hello in where. So yeah, it is again giving me true because it is a string. Okay, so there is no need to worry about strings. For example, I have placed double quotes here, but when I printed the list, it is showing me single quotes. Okay, so string works on single quotes. There is no problem working with strings. So yeah, it is giving me true or false. For example, if I want to check hello not in where, it will give me false. It means my hello is in my where. So how to traverse a list? So we will see how to traverse a list. Okay, so let us see traverse a list. So how can we traverse a list? For example, I want to traverse my variable list. So I will use a for where in, for example, I am creating a variable for I in where print I. Okay, so it will give me all the results like this. Yeah, so in this way we can traverse a list. Okay, so print I, and I would use and is equals to the value of I. So 2i, 3i. So for example, and is equals to I. Okay, so what would happen? Nothing. So I want to separate my and as dash. So yeah, I would complete the bracket, and yeah, my all the elements are separated using hyphen. So yeah, in this way we can traverse a list. I can also use the length of list. For example, I want to check the length of variable. So yeah, my list contains 14 elements. So let us check 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So my list contains 14 elements, but uh, okay, but my indexing will start from 0. For example, okay. So now let us see the operations we can perform in list. So yeah, I will show you list operations. Okay, so let us see list operations. For example, I am creating my list 1 as 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and my list 2 as something like this, some variable other, and 34 and 48. Okay, so can I use list 3 is equals to list 1 plus list 2, and when I would print list 3, it will give me all those variables. Okay, so it is giving combining the list. So we can add to list, merge to list in the one list. For example, if I want to print list number of times, so for example, I want to print list 1 4 times, so I will use list 1 star 4. So yeah, it is giving me the list 4 times. It is printing the list 4 times. Okay, so what are the methods in list? For example, I want to see help. Okay, help list functions. So these are all the methods of my list. Okay, so I have seen help method, help the methods of you. I want to see the methods in list, for so I have used help function and seeing the methods of list. For example, I have all those methods. Okay, so add, contains, delete item, equation, get attribute, get item, higher, additional, header, length function, dribble, append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, sort. So I will use the basic functions, the most important function, not every function. Okay, for example, I have list 1 as like this and list 2 as this. What would happen if I use list 1 dot append? So I would delete this function, help function. I would use list 1 dot append, and I want to add 5 again, and for example I want to add 500. So yeah, when I will print again list 1, and it is giving me 500. Okay, so my list 1 is like, okay, okay, let us, my list 1 is like this. Let us create another variable. Okay, so I have named wrong spelling. My list is like old one. Okay, so so my list that I was using was like was this one. Okay, so I have to save this again. So run. Yeah, now it is working correctly. And now when I would use, I would have 500 at my hand. For example, I can also use list 2 dot append 3. So yeah, when I would print list 2, it would give me 3 at the end. What would happen if I use list 1 dot append list 2? So it will add the list, complete list, to the end of the first list. Okay, but what would happen if I want to add these elements like a list elements only in the first list? For that I would use list 1 dot extend. Okay, what would I use? Extend list 2, and then I would see list 1, and then yeah, we can see that I have all these variables. I would remove this. Okay, so I don't want this to be used, and then I would run again all those variables. Okay, I would run it again. List 3, list 3, list 4, list 500, list 1, list 2 dot append 3, list 2, list 1. Okay, so I have to remove this function. Okay, so I have to remove this function, and then I would use this again. So let me run it again, and now it is working correctly. Okay, so if I want to add list to the another list, okay, combine two lists, I have to use extend function. I cannot use append function. Append function will append the list. Okay, add only one element at the end of list. So it is the use of append and extend. Can I sort the list? For example, I would use list 1 dot sort, and then see what would happen. Not supported, or stance of string and int. Okay, so string and integer format is not supported. I have to use single type. Sort function supports only single type of variable. For example, I would create list for as, for example, 2 6 7 9, something like this. Okay, now let us sort this list 4 dot sort. Okay, so sort function I have to use this, and I would print, okay, I would print list 4 again, and now it is sorted. Okay, so I have created this variable. Now see, you can see that it is sorted list. So yeah, in this way we can sort a list. Okay, so let us see help with pop function. So pop function is not defined, no problem. In the list I have pop function. So for example, I want to pop list 4 dot pop. Okay, so I have used pop function. It is showing me index. Okay, so I have to name that index. So for example, I want to pop second element, so 0 1 and second index element. So I would 2, and I would print the list 4. So yeah, it has dropped the second element. So in this way we can pop. For example, I want to pop. Okay, so let us work with our old list. So I want to pop first element, so list 2 dot pop 0th index element, and I would use print list 2. Okay, so my first index is dropped. Okay, yeah, so in this way we can pop elements from. I can also use delete function. For example, I want to use delete list 2, and I want to drop second index. So when I will print list 2 again, we can see that our second index element is dropped. Okay, so 0 was and second index element is dropped. Okay, in this way we can drop element from a. For example, I don't know the index of an element in a list. So how can I use the function? How can I remove that function? I am using, now I am using list 4. Okay, so how can I use that function? I would use remove function. Okay, list 4 dot remove. Okay, I don't know the index of that element. For example, I don't know the index of 8. So how can I remove that element? I can simply write 8, and when I would print list 4, I can see that my 8 is removed. Okay, so I have changed the list 4. Okay, so my list is like this. My list 4 is this. So I can use the remove function to remove the 8. For example, I would again use list, which number list is 2. Okay, list 4 dot remove, and then I can use 7000, and then when I would print again list 4, it will give me like this. For example, I want to print the max function from, I can use max function from, okay, so I can also use max function, max of list 4. Okay, I can use main function. So I am showing you the function, the small functions. Okay, I can use the length function, length of list 4. So it is giving me 4 elements in my list. I can also use the sum function, sum of list 4. It is working because I have the same number of variables. If for example I have string variables, it will not work. Okay, so these functions work only for same type of variables. Okay, for example, I can use list str equals to a then v then n then f then y then l. Okay, for example, I would use list str. Okay, so this is my list. I would print this list. So it is like this. Okay, so when I would sort the list, str dot sort. Okay, so it will sort my variables like according to the string variables, according to their ASCII values. So in this way we can sort. For example, if I have a numerical variable with string variable, it will not sort. Okay, so in this way we can sort a list using string variables also. So next we will see how to convert strings to list. Okay, so how to convert a string to list? For example, I have my string, I have my string as hello users, please subscribe the channel. Okay, so how can I convert my string to list? For example, I can use the as string string list barabar. Okay, so string list equals, I would use a function as list and then use as, and now I will print my string list. So you can see that okay, string list is not defined. So I have used double variables now. Okay, so you can see that my all the variables are converted to the list. It is a long list. So I would remove this and then run again, and then now we can see, yeah, so my all the variables are converted in the list. So all my string characters are converted into a list variable. So yeah, in this way we can convert a string to, for example, I want to convert my string like I want to use hello as one word, users as one word. Okay, so how can I convert this? For example, I have my string 2 as hello users, please like and subscribe the channel. Okay, so how can I convert that string to, for example, I want to use hello as one word in my list, users as one word in my list, and please as one word in my list. So I would use as, for example, I would create list, okay, list 7 is equals to as 2 dot split function, okay, and my all the values, all the words will be converted in as a independent variables in the list, and then I would print the list 7, and now you can see that all my words are converted into a individual variables in the list. Yeah, and now let us move forward. For example, I have my string 3 as hello users, please subscribe the channel and then like the video. So what am I doing? If I want to separate my list as, if I want to separate my words, separate my string and make a list containing words like hello, hello again and users again, I want to separate by using a delimiter. So all the words before and after hyphen must be celebrated. For example, please subscribe the channel would contain as a single word, and then like again another word, and the video as another word. So how can I do it? So I would use list 6 and name it as 3 dot delimiter. So what can I use? I can use delimiter. Okay, so I can use split function as, okay, so I would use split function, and then as a delimiter I would use dash hyphen, and now let us print list 6, and then you can see that hello is separated because we have delimiter here, and then users is separated, and then please subscribe the channel contains is a single variable in the list, and the video is also a single variable in the list. For example, if I want to separate my list as by a space split, and I want to separate it by space, so yeah, let me print list 8, and all the variables where I have space are separated. So in this way we can separate variables. For example, if I want to join the list containing spaces, for example, if my list has this variables that contain spaces, so how can I join it? So I would use list 00 is equals to list 6 dot join, and then delimiter I have to use as space. So I would use space dot join list 6, okay. So in this way we can join the variables where we have spaces. Now let me print list 00. So yeah, it is giving me hello users, please like and subscribe the video. So for example, I have a space here, I am joining this, I am joining this, I am joining this, and I am joining this. So in this way we can join the, for example, now I am showing you memory allocation in Python. Memory in Python. If so, for example, if I have two same variables, then the memory Python will allocate them will be same. For example, I am having a variable as key, okay, and b variable also as key. So the memory allocated to a and b will be same because both the variables are same. I can check it by a is b. Yeah, it is showing me true, okay, because the variables which are same have the same memory in Python. I will show you this concept in teaching, okay. But when we come to list, for example, list 1 is equals to 1 2 3, and list 2 is equals to 1 2 3. If list 1 is equals to list 2, no, lists are assigned different memory. So list 1 is list 2, it will give me false because lists are assigned different memory. Okay, so variables are assigned same memory but lists are assigned different memory. Okay, so till now, till here we are done with the list in Python, and we will move forward again with covering next tutorial. In the next tutorial we will cover dictionaries in Python. So yeah, thank you for the okay, so yeah, thank you for your patience. Please like the video and subscribe my channel.